Hello once again. I just thought I'd check in with you guys and make a video. Haven't done one for a few weeks and it's just that time of year. Very busy time for everybody, work and family stuff. It's all good though, it's all good. And yeah, an extra day off is nice right now. It's snowing like crazy outside here, so here in Southern Ontario, that's okay. It's winter time, beautiful. So yeah, thought I'd do this the vinyl tag 2026. It's not even 2026 yet, but we're doing our vinyl tag. It's a signal of another year turns. So David Atkinson, I think the fellow's name was, that kind of started this up. So yeah, let's do this. And lots of fun questions, many questions, and some questions with layers to them. So there's a lot of albums to show, so we won't dwell on them, but I'll answer the questions. And there's a couple of questions where I had to be creative with my answer, but if you follow my channel, if you look back at my stuff, it's basically it's all rock music. So that's my collection. Added some new stuff for Christmas time, and I have a nice gift card that I'm going to cash in on some more stuff. So it's all good. I'll be adding to my collection, and let's go through this list. If you want to check out some of my videos and then like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that. And again, Ron Talks Rock is the handle. And yeah, let's do this. Vinyl Tag 2026. So a lot of the questions are similar to what we've seen before, but there's some fresh ones. It's kind of fun. So best vinyl purchase, question one, best vinyl purchase of the year to me is the Cure record, Songs of a Lost World. I've talked about it. I did an entire video talking about this record, and what an amazing record. I just love it very much. That is the best purchase this past year for me. What a great album, man. What a great record. So The Cure, Songs of a Lost World. So question two is live experience. This year was it didn't really go to too many concerts. However, I did see a cool concert locally with a family friend of mine and a younger fella, and we went and we saw a classic band that I had never seen and was always interested in seeing because I always dug them, and it was Gotto. So Gotto were big when I was young, and went to see Gotto. Greg Gotovitz here, the center fella, was front and center. He's the main guy and sounded great. They were great. I loved it. And it was at a pretty cool small venue locally. We were able to walk there and back. It was a great night. Gotto, finally seeing them. That was my highlight of live stuff for the year, for sure. Question three, is your collection going to be bigger, smaller, or about the same in 10 years' time? Well, I'm about to turn 60, so 10 years seems like a pretty scary thing to think ahead that long. But I tell you the truth, this past year I did some purging and got rid of some stuff, and I think my collection is going to be about the same as it is now. 350 or so records and the same amount CDs basically. And I think it's going to be about the same, I'll bet you. I intend to do some more purging and flipping and adding new stuff. For Christmas time, I was able to add this very cool Fleetwood Mac record, Tusk, that I had never owned, and it's in this pretty cool double reissue, very, very good. So, that type of thing I think I'm going to continue to add to my collection, fill out some holes of some classic stuff, and probably get rid of some stuff that sort of just sits there in the collection. So I'll bet you it's going to be around the same, but better. That's what I predict. So question four, first record you play if you enter a new home. You want to get the juices out of the home and light it up. Well, you know what? I think I'll play a little Run to the Hills, Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast record. That sounds like a pretty great choice for a first record to blast out in a new place, for sure. All right, question number five. Show two albums from favorite male and female singers. So one male, one female. I mean, one of my favorite male singers is Tom Petty. I added this record this year, Angel Dream. what a great record, especially side one, but the whole thing's really good. And I just love Tom's voice, and he's somebody that I would never grow tired of listening to. And as far as female singers, Emily Haynes of Metric, I've always been a fan of her singing and her band, so that would be my choice there. Okay, question number 6. This is one that I have to be quite creative because the question is top 3 soul or dance records. Look, I'm a rock guy. I do have a lot of 80s stuff, but most of it is in my CD collection. So I had to be a bit creative, but I do have some that I can show. Choices, Prince, Purple Rain. Yep, for sure. That would be one. Beck, Colors. And, Beck's got those albums that I love that are the acoustic bass kind of stuff, but he also has the more electronic type record. So this is a really good record, Colors. That would be in there. And my third choice is Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell. So, you don't think of Meatloaf as a dance kind of artist, but, it's such great iconic songs, and, there's some slow dance songs on here. And, Kara is a big fan of Meatloaf, and watching her dance around to this music makes me happy. So that's my choice there. Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. Okay, question 7. Show an album with a track that you hate, but an album you love. Well, hate's a bit strong, but Van Halen has a couple of songs that I'm, the David Lee Roth kind of goofy songs, and certainly, there's a couple of choices, but Diver Down is a record I've always loved from my youth. But Big Bad Bill is Sweet William Now has never been a song that, it's kind of like that goofy kind of David Lee Roth song, just like Ice Cream Man from the first record, not my kind of jam. I mean, it's got some great musical points in it, but those goofy kind of throw around David Lee Roth songs I'm not as big on. So there's my choice. Okay, this is where you get a bunch of, you got to show a bunch of records. Took some effort, but no big deal. You got to show an album that you like from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, and 2010. So let's show them. From the 60s, how about Beatles, Abbey Road? From the 70s, what a great record. Still stands up to this day. Boston's debut record, 1971. Wow. From the early 80s, Phil Collins. Face Value, In the Air Tonight. What a great record. Still sounds great. From the 90s, let's go with the Temple of the Dog record. What a great record. Love it. This obviously is a reissue, but it sounds really great. I love this. Love this record. So there you go. From the 2000s, let's go with Clutch, Blast Tyrant, a band that I was really interested in getting some stuff. This is the record. It's got some crazy cool songs on here, man. What a cool band. So Blast Tyrant from Clutch. And finally, from the 2010s, the Arctic Monkeys, AM, a classic record that most record collections, if you're into rock, would have. Chock full of great tunes. Okay, question number 9. An artist you would like to spend the day with? Well, for me, I've always been a big fan of Alex Lifeson. There he is there. Komodo Alex. So, Alex Lifeson, Rush. And he's a cool guy. I've seen lots of interviews with him. And, I just think that he's kind of a normal guy, but has this aura of the kind of artist that I dig, just like an amazing guitarist and can do such amazing stuff, but yet he's like a normal kind of guy. And then the next question 10 is question you would ask them. If you were hanging out with Alex for the day, what would I ask him? You know what I'd love to hear is, how long did it take you to get so good? Like, how much practicing did it take? I'm sure it took a lot, but I would love to hear that, because I've seen lots of documentaries with Rush and, Alex talking in the early days, and he must have spent a lot of time to be able to pull off some of that experimental Rush prog rock stuff. So that's my question. The question 11 is a record with a song that makes you cry. Well, that might be a stretch cry, but a song that makes me, I guess, sad, introspective for sure is Peace on Earth from U2, the album All That You Can't Leave Behind, especially right now, Christmas time, and this world has still got its wars and its battles and its hatred and its violence. It's nuts. So Peace on Earth, what a beautiful song by U2 on that record. All right, question number 12. Show an album, 3 artists that you try to really love, but you really just can't get into. Well, Aerosmith is a band that, naturally with my hard rock kind of love and roots that I do dig. I like Aerosmith, appreciate how great they are, but I never really got truly super into Aerosmith, and yet I think they're cool. So that's one. Another one would be certainly a little too blues oriented for me, but there's some cool tracks on here. He's got a lot of cool songs, but David Wilcox, I've had that forever, best of, and there's a lot of cool songs on here and fun songs, but a little too maybe blues dripping for me. I don't know. And the third one would be Deep Purple. Deep Purple, I do respect them in the rock history and the hard rock history, and they're very important, and I know that, and I dig them, but this is all I really need from them. They got some classic tracks, and it's just that that Moog kind of heavy, deep sound is kind of, it's okay. I dig it, but love some of their songs. It's just not a band that I really got into. Okay, the next question is one that I really struggled with, and it is question 13. An artist that you dig their bands or their music, but you really don't dig their character. I had to think about this. I was like, okay, I don't like to be negative that way. Who am I to say? I don't know these people personally. But one artist that I've followed a long time, I'm a big Foo Fighters fan, and Dave Grohl. I love Dave. I love the output. I was getting a little tired of Dave being so into the media and so, caught up with, I gotta be front and center in the media. And then he did his poor judgment routine where he impregnated a person outside of his marriage, and he had young daughters, and I thought everybody knew it was kind of lowbrow character move, and yet he also is the fella that does a lot of feeding the homeless and stuff on people on the street. So he's I think ultimately a good guy, a good person, but he sure has shown some slips in judgment. I think he, party abuse that got to him at times, but I still love Dave, and some aspects of his character leave you going like, come on, Dave, give us a break. All right, question number 14. You sell your stuff. Oh, ouch. What's the one album that you keep? Well, the one album I would keep would be Supertramp Breakfast in America. It's the album that makes me think of my youth, makes me think of, looking up to my Uncle Bruce, and just, it's such a good record. And The Logical Song might be one of my favorite songs, literally of all time, ever. So, yeah, Supertramp Breakfast in America would be the pick for me. All right, let's see here. Question number 15 is a fun one. Mention your vinyl community highlight. Well, I live in outside of Toronto, and it seems like I do nothing but work, and I like the vinyl community. I follow some of the other channels a lot, but I think the highlight for me is the Ozzy Osbourne / Black Sabbath. These are all Sabbath songs. Big show, and back to the beginning, that show in the summertime, and I watched it, and then I did a video, one of my favorite personal videos that I did, and it was a recap of that day, that show, and that was a lot of fun. You know, it brought back a flood of memories. It had all these bands that were part of the day, and Ozzy, and then of course we lost Ozzy shortly after that. So, you know, a big one for me, a big loss in the music world for me is Ozzy, and yeah, he's just such a lightning rod for me and my going backwards to my youth, my brother. So I think that's the highlight for me. Okay, question 16, your favorite music biopic. So I was like, first I was going to pick a documentary, but then I sort of thought about it, and it's a biography picture. So I think the one that comes to mind is Rocket Man, the Elton John movie that they brought out. I think it was really well done, and me being not a giant Elton John fan, I really thought that it was a very creative show and very creative. I liked it a lot, so that's my pick. Okay, so here's 17. Question 17. Wow, this is a tough one for me to answer. So this is 3 reasons jazz matters. Show albums. Well, listen, I'm not a jazz fan. Yeah, I don't own any jazz music. It's just not my jam. But I thought I'd answer the question as creative as I could be. And you know, when I think of jazz music, I think of awesome musicians and like creative musicianship and sort of instrument first, I guess. That's what I think of jazz. So I thought of this band, Haim, and specifically this record. This is their record, Something to Tell You, and it's got a song right now on here. I remember being really impressed by that song, and it just, you know, this is a group of females, they're sisters, and they're, you know, kind of modern, younger type band, but their chops are with how they play their individual instruments, and to me that's what jazz kind of shows off. So anyways, that's the take I take on that question. All right, question 18, just a few more to go. You're on death row. What's the last music you request? To me, this was an easy one. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, every time you listen to this one, you know, time itself, that song, and yeah, what a great record. And that's, to me, the record I want to hear and listen to. Okay, question 19 is a fun one. This second last question is, sell your favorite artist to a new listener. Well, simple. The Tragically Hip, my favorite artist, probably, being a Canadian fella, rock guy, and the Hip are, you know, certainly, if not my favorite, I think they are my favorite. But the Hip are, for a new listener, they've got a deep catalog. So you know what? Ultimately, the Hip were a great live band. So just listen to this. Live at the Roxy, and it's got Little Bones and Cordelia, and it's got New Orleans is Sinking, it's got Long Time Running, Blow It High Dough, Three Pistols. Man, what a great record, and it shows off the power of the Hip and Gord Downie, and he was easily the greatest live performer I've ever seen, for sure. All right, the last question, question 20, is 3 vinyl community people you'd like to meet. Well, Norman Maslov. He's guy I started watching all these videos, his channel, still do. Chris from The Long Cut, I really enjoy watching his videos. He's such a, such an intelligent fella and very introspective, so I like watching his videos. And the last one is a bit of a stretch. I know he's not vinyl community, but I'm a big fan of Rick Beato and his channel, so I'm gonna include Rick. I'd love to meet Rick. He's such a cool guy and intelligent, knows all these artists. Yeah, pretty cool. So there's my answers for the vinyl community 2026 questions. So yeah, a lot of fun, and a lot of questions, a lot of fun, and I hope everyone stays good, and I'll see you guys again maybe before the new year. Maybe I'll have a little bit more time to attack another topic. So all the best to you guys, and we'll see you again. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.